YouTube. Today in the Naughty Librarian, I am doing an historical romance book haul. I have been collecting some pretty amazing historicals lately, between library book sales, or just buying them, or sometimes my friends give them to me. I have been acquiring them. I have developed a newfound taste for historicals, and I want to explore the genre, try out different authors, so here's just a big stack of stuff I've gotten recently. Kind of lucked into the entire Wild in Love series by Aloysia James. To start things off, there's Wild in Love, and then there's Too Wild to Wed, which actually got sent to me by my friend Bethany at Beautifully Bookish Bethany. I'll link her down below. Check her out, she's awesome. And then I got Born to be Wild. So this whole series, I got the whole series. I haven't read any of them. I'm going to be reading this one very soon though, so starting it. Wild in Love, this is about Lord Alaric. He has gone gallivanting about Europe, and then he comes home, only to find out that the newspapers have been writing about his adventures for years, and he's super famous, and he's like, ah, ladies are trying to attack me. And he goes to this castle, and he meets this nice girl, and he's just like, ooh, I'm interested. And then she's like, oh, I'm interested too, but I'm only shy on the outside. I'm actually into dirty jokes, and I'm crazy. And he's like, yeah, and then they're together. This is about Northwild. He's about to marry Diana, and Diana left him at the altar, so he's like, well, I'm leaving England, bye. And I guess he went to war. He comes back, and he's just like, hey, Diana, let's still do this. And she's like, So basically, she still doesn't want to marry him, because when she left him at the altar, it tarnished his reputation, and she didn't mean to do that, but then she's like, I still want you, attraction, and then they get together. This is a trope I love to hate. It is basically oh, I don't want to be with you, but I'll help you get someone better. I'll help you get this other guy. And then as he's helping her get another guy, he's like, but I like you too. Ah! I hate it because it's annoying, but I also like it, so I'm in. This is about Perth, who is the most rich bachelor in England, and then this girl Lavinia, who's like, hey, will you please marry me? And he's like, nope. And then he finds out, oh, she asked him to marry her because she has dire circumstances, and he's like, okay, I'll help you find a prince then. I'll help you find a better dude. And then he's helping her find a better husband, and then in the course of that, he's like, oh no, I want to be your husband. Oh no. And it's that trope I love to hate, because the fake dating, I'm gonna help you find someone better thing, it's always annoying, but I secretly like it too. I also picked up the Ravishing one by Connie Brockway. I picked it up mainly because his cover is so 90s romance. I was like, ooh, time warp. It is about a girl named Fia, and she was like, oh, I don't want to marry anybody. Fondness is weakness, and blah. And then this guy from her past comes back, kind of kidnaps her though, and brings her to Scotland. And she's like, oh, I know how to solve this problem. I'll seduce him for spite, because that always ends well. And then they do it in Scotland. I also have The Prince of Pleasure by Nicole Jordan. Mainly also total 90s romance. Let's see the smutty insert. Oh, that's MacGyver. Tell me that's not MacGyver. Oh my gosh, maybe this is 80s. Oh no, this came out in 2003? Holy moly. MacGyver had a resurgence apparently. It's about a Marquess and his ex-girlfriend who's an actress, and apparently she broke his heart, and then there's some threat to the crown, so he's just like, oh, I will use this actress somehow to find the culprit. And he's like, oh, this is my mistress. And she's like, the fuck, homie? And he's just like, go with it. And she's like, oh, I'll go with it. So I think it's a little bit enemies to lovers, but they were already lovers. I don't know. It seems kind of it's gonna be fun. I also picked up What the Duke Desires by Sabrina Jeffries. Sabrina Jeffries was recommended to me because she is similar to Tessa Dare, and you know your girl likes some Tessa Dare, so I picked this one up. This one's kind of cool because it's about they're called the Duke's Men, and they're private investigators, and they solve crimes, and one of them sends a letter to this Duke saying, hey, you know that brother you thought was dead? He's totally not dead. So the Duke shows up at his house, and he's just like, okay, where's this guy? And his sister answers the door, and she's like, "Blah," and they're like, well, shit. And so they go to Paris to look for both of their family members, and then fall in love for real. I'm into it. It might be fun. Who knows? Oh, hey, speaking of Tessa Dare books, I got 2 more Tessa Dare books. This is a series I have not read yet. I have Goddess of the Hunt and Lady of Persuasion. This is kind of like a trilogy of books. I think this is like the Wanton Milkmaid series. I think that's what it's called. And I'm like, just call it what it is. I'm like all about the title. In Goddess of the Hunt, we follow Lucy, who is hunting for a husband, and so she goes up to Jeremy, her brother's best friend, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna practice like seducing people on you. And he's just like, I'm happy to help. And it's you know, it starts as fake, like, oh, I'm practicing seducing other people, and then it starts to be real. They realize they like each other. Some people hate that trope. I kind of like that trope because it's always just like, you dummies, just kiss. Like I like it. So it just has to dare. Like, she hasn't really done me wrong yet, so I'm in. So this is about Tobias, and he is a libertine, which basically means like man slut. And he's like, oh, what's the only thing that's gonna get me to like commit undying fidelity to one woman? Revenge. That's what. So he's going to be like, okay, you're my enemy. Well, I'm gonna marry your sister. Ha 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 ha. And so he marries this like sister, or he tries to. I don't know. I'm assuming it works out in the end, but that's like a shitty reason to start a relationship. But like also I'm like, oh, he's gonna get a comeuppance. So I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it. I might hate Tobias, but I might like him. I'm not sure. I don't know how to feel yet. I'm just gonna have to read this. The last new book I got is The Duchess War by Courtney Milan. Courtney Milan was recommended to me very highly by Mara from Books Like Whoa. I'll leave her channel down below. Check her out. She's really cool. I'm super interested. I've been told that Courtney Milan writes really cool, like, feminist romances. So I'm in. I really want to see how she handles it, especially like in, I think, Regency era. And it's about this woman who I guess she has a tarnished reputation. So it was so tarnished that she actually changed her name just to escape the tarnished past. And then this duke comes to town, and I guess she finds out a secret about him, and she's like, oh, you know my secret? Well, I'm gonna find out all of your secrets. And then like they do it, and they fall in love, I guess. But I don't know. It was recommended to me, so I'm going to check it out. Historical romances. So yes, I'm exploring the genre. I'm kind of found like my kink for it, so I know which books to look for. I do want to find new authors. And yeah, I always thought I wouldn't like historical romance, but like I've drank the Kool-Aid. I'm in now. I'm like into it. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, which ones were the best, which ones were the worst. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!